the show today is no exception to some of the great work that I've done in the past.
Are there female rabbis?
Happen to be a little bit of an armchair expert on the subject, if I do say so.
It's not family, it's clan.
Hours.
9 hours.
But hopefully we will not be on for 9 hours. No. Hi Needy, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
That's
ready
good.
to roll on this one.
Hi, yeah, right. Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. It's late. But it's probably really late for it's not so late for me because I live on the Pacific coast, so it's only just after 8, but it's hella late for a lot of you guys.
Yes.
And we're trying something here. We're trying something new, something different. So I'm here with my friend Nitty, and we're streaming.
Yes.
So
yeah, we're here to have fun and look at various pieces of what I like to call the atheosphere and the engagement of the apologetosphere with the mythosphere that is our content area of YouTube. It's our corner of famedom with our fandom. And it's great.
It is. So just to give people some background here. I guess it was 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks. It was like a month ago.
It was a month ago,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yes. I was peer pressured into going live, into doing a live stream. Because I am still like a junior high school student. This is what happens. So I was peer pressured into going on live, and then Nitty was like, I want in. So you join me, and Maya Adkisson, who was possibly behind the massive peer pressuring, dug up a video.
We are just creatures in the hands of the goddess.
That's it. That's the when she says to do things, you just do them, right? So that's how this works. So she found a video and we watched it, and I was drinking and we laughed our asses off, and that was a night. So yeah. So
we discovered some very unboblical things.
Very unboblical things. How can they even tell? It's a good time. So this is where we're at. We might make this a regular thing. Saturday nights, because I also notice this too, because I pay attention to things that are going on in our community. Nitty, I've got my eyes and my ears open. I am attuned to the people. I've noticed we've got, Zadanza is broadcasting every Thursday night, which is great. And then, there are alternating the Apostate sisters and Apologia will do things on Friday nights. There is Bad Science Sundays. Yes. On Sunday nights.
Glorious.
Who is and it is glorious. Who is looking out for the people on Saturday nights? What is out there? I don't know. So
it's us. We're the full moon.
It's us
of YouTube. Yeah.
There you
Saturdays.
Go. This is we're trying this on for size. This is Budget Scripture Saturday. Not to be confused with Bad Science Sunday, because they do bad science over there. But by all means, go and watch Bad Science Sunday tomorrow when it comes on. But you're here now. So this is the show where Nitty and I sit around, and I will drink I'm gonna start off with this mango wheat ale tonight, and Maya has picked out another video, and we'll watch it and we'll see what happens.
Yes.
There's some other things too we've talked through. We found some other content to look at.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is how it goes.
I will not reveal the contents of my cup. Chat will have to decide if I am Legolas or
Oh.
if I am a cheap date. We'll find out.
Legolas. That's like a character, isn't it? On in the Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm. He can just drink and drink and drink, and you wouldn't know, right?
That's true.
Elven
So,
constitution, it just goes.
Just looking at the chat here. Yes, there's a very good chance because I've got my beer. I've got a big bottle of Crown here, and I've got some other stuff on the shelf back there. So there's a good chance this can end up being and yes, Andrew, I certainly don't mean to advertise falsely. So I think we'll get there. I did want to say the infiltrator picture from my I was very excited about this. This is a new thing that happened this last week. There is a French film company that is making a documentary, or they've made now a documentary about the Dead Sea Scrolls forgeries, and I did some filming with them. They sent me a draft, I guess you would call it, of the film to
No
preview.
way.
Yeah, so I got to watch that on Thursday, and I was so excited because they put that plate up in the film and called me l'infiltrator. It's pretty great, right? Or in German, der Infiltrator. But yeah, I like it. I think it's pretty great. So that's that I'm leaning into this now. So yeah, it's the film is broadcasting on a channel in France and Germany.
Ooh.
And maybe it'll end up on a streaming platform somewhere someday, which would be great. So
that would be awesome.
it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I continue to be annoyed at how much Michael Langlois likes to take credit for things that I and other people have done, but apart from that, it's pretty good. So yeah,
that's great. BS Lewis said, "We all know Nitty is not Legolas," which is very true because I have this Lego minifigures
right.
puzzle,
See,
1,000-piecer, and a crap ton of Lego boxes, and I have the Lego Batman movie Batmobile.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you collect and build kits?
Absolutely, yes. I have a huge Marvel collection. I've shown it once on my channel. And then my daughter has her own whole Lego Friends table, and my son has a Lego City that he and I have built together. I actually tonight there were these like pullback monster trucks, which were pretty freaking metal looking. I mean, like they made like a replica of the Gravedigger, I think it is. Andrew, I also had Lego Mario for quite a while. And they were like, they had like a pullback mechanism like in the back of the monster truck Lego, and I had taken them apart for like parts for other shit. And then my son got this Ninjago, like all-terrain vehicle, a merch vehicle for the characters, like every season they have like the new vehicle, whatever. And I took the pullback mechanism from that monster truck and threw it into his all-terrain vehicle tonight, and it's so good. And it's like it
Cool.
has changed
very
that
cool.
toy into like one of the coolest Ninjago things like ever. And I'm so proud of myself
Wow.
for engineering it into that one.
Amazing. You could
Yeah.
get a job at like Lego.
They actually, do you want to know what it takes to
Engineering
work
and-
there?
What does it take to work there?
The employment test is to build a sphere out of Lego and then they drop it. It's like the egg drop test.
And if it
know?
breaks,
Right, and it shouldn't break.
wow.
Or it should mostly
How big
not break.
does it have to be? Just whatever.
It's whatever. I mean, building spheres isn't that easy. So there you go.
But I mean, you I mean, I guess it would, right. I guess it would have to be big enough that it could be distinguished as a sphere,
Yeah.
as opposed to,
Right.
because like you could just, I mean, I guess in extremely low res pixelation, you could stick like 4 blocks together and say that that's a sphere.
Sphere.
That's a sphere, right?
Right. Or I mean, you
So-
could just put a bunch of bricks, but then that's super heavy, right? I think they're
yeah.
going for like a minimalist spheroid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have ideas.
So-
Like that my brain started ticking to like, what would it take to make it? Anyway, totally off topic.
Actually, it really is, but now I'm thinking about this. My
Wait, we
Dr.
can
Fodder.
chain it back in because there's the Brick
Oh.
Testament.
There is. It's right over there. As a matter of fact, you can't see it behind my microphone.
You gonna pull
There,
it
now
off
you
the
can.
shelf like Wes?
Okay, yeah. Let's do that, shall we? It's right next to my Talmud.
have
My Talmud
copy
Bavli, where it
of the
belongs.
Brick Testament right here.
So it's fabulous, you guys. Everyone should buy this for real.
Yes.
And I think I have the Old and the New Testament. One of my favorite parts in the New Testament one is the story of the birth of Jesus, when the Holy Spirit comes to visit Mary.
Oh boy.
Right.
Show everyone.
Yeah, I gotta find it here. Unfortunately, I don't have the page handy. Oh, you know what? Maybe this is the right. I think this is the older version. I think it's in the newer version. Never mind. That's unfortunate. Oh, is that? Oh no, there it is. Oh, here we go. I found it. So, this is pretty great. So it says, so it's like Mary. Here, I'm gonna make this big so that everyone can
Yes.
see. Let's just do a solo layout here, okay?
Good. Do what you gotta do.
Okay, do what we got to do. So, if you can see here, it's not that great. So Mary, you see she's hanging out there, and the angel walks in and comes to talk to her, to tell her that that she's been chosen by God to be the mother of the Messiah. And then I love this one. It says the angel, because she asks her, she says, Mary said to the angel, "How can this happen if I have not yet lain with a man?" And the angel answered, "The Holy Ghost will come upon you." And if you can see there
It goes.
on the top corner, there he is. He's ready
So
for her,
good.
Mary. He's gonna come
Woo.
upon you.
I had that ghost figure growing up.
Oh, did you?
It
Did-
glows
I
in the
bet you
dark.
I bet you didn't know that was the Oh, wow, that's cool. I
Mhm.
bet you didn't know that was like the creepy
No, that it's really
perverted-
the Holy Spirit.
Holy Ghost ready to come on Mary.
Yeah, the Holy
So,
Ghost took a bath with me at one point.
Oh, did he? Oh. And you didn't get pregnant at all.
Taking Yahweh
So-
to court. That had happened.
Excellent. Oh God. I did want to. There was one other shoot. Did I lose it already?
Is that Shivers?
I
Did you
think I
change
might
your
have.
name to Ashera? Anyway,
Oh wow. Shoot. I was rats.
you were saying
I'm
about
so
your
good at this stuff. Oh, here we
your
go. I found so this was in the in the Myth Vision stream. This is my third stream today, by the way, guys, which what the fuck am I doing? But so in the Myth Vision stream, Stardust Lilith asked if I would be offended or honored if she named her dog Kip. And as promised, you now have a new lab/Newfoundland mix named after you. Thank you, Stardust Lilith. I am honored. I hope you called him Dr. Kip. Or is that is that too much? So, all right. Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Well, do we want to jump into some shit here?
Content. Yes.
All right. So the first thing before I get too hammered here, I did want to look at so this, and I noticed that you did something on this a couple days ago, didn't you?
Yes. I made a thumbnail with Rhett saying goodbye to Jesus, and Jesus is like, "Fine, leave." But yeah, I can't actually remember what section of the Rhett interview I covered. But I don't think it was the capturing Christianity part, was it? I don't even know.
I don't
I'm
think
all
you
off
did the
base
capturing
now.
Christianity. So this is
Oh
is
yeah, I
Capturing
did the
Christianity's
actual
review.
Yeah, I did the actual original interview and some commentary
Yes.
on that. Yeah. And then I got distracted by guests and whatnot. But yeah, it's a fascinating conversation between Rhett and Alex. And there are points where I try to steelman Christianity too, much like, Cam and David and AP are going to do. So I try to be fair. Unless I know you're lying or you're a complete bigot, I won't make fun of you or get too angry. Like our friends over at Inspiring Sophistry and whatnot.
The bigotry runs very strong with at least a couple in this crowd here. Alpha Centurion, it's good to see you, by the way, is reminding us that capturing Christian now believes he's being hunted by the Antichrist. It's true. I noticed that as well. So this is kind of interesting to me. David Wood has been around for a while. He's a goofball philosopher who does Christian apologetics on YouTube. He is a psychopath, literally, and I think I think he's probably just a terrible person. But what do I know? This is just my impressions. Apostate Prophet, there below, Cameron Bertuzzi of Capturing Christianity he was an ex-Muslim. What would you call him? He was a counter-apologist.
Atheist, counter-apologist. Yeah. And now he converted to Christianity, and of all things, Orthodox Christianity, which really blows my mind. I can't.
He actually kind of gets himself into some trouble in this video, because he's new to this, right? Take some time to learn exactly
the Christianosphere.
What it is, what it is exactly you're buying into. So I mean, Cameron Bertuzzi just straight out calls him a heretic at one point. Hard to tell if that was tongue in cheek.
Who was that you said?
Cameron straight up called AP a heretic at one point. Hard
You're
to
a heretic.
hard to tell if it was tongue in cheek or if he was serious. Yeah, I think this is true. Break yourself. AP's wife is Orthodox, and I think that's part of the conversion story. But it's interesting to me that he's now on the Christian apologetics bandwagon.
Like this,
I mean, like that.
which was even
I
wilder.
think it's a clear indication of what I have always known, that when it comes to Christian apologetics, you don't actually have to know anything, right? You don't need any special training.
Oh,
You don't
I've
need
got
any
stuff to say
expertise
about that.
Oh yeah.
But go
Yeah.
on. Yeah, you don't need any
You don't need
expertise.
special training, no expertise. You just need an audience and some charisma and a boatload of confidence, and you're set.
Yes. All of that. So B.S. Lewis mentioned in the chat that AP debated Andrew Wilson, who is a very
Yes.
insufferable person. And did you hear about this?
I might have watched it actually.
Oh yeah, where they called where Andrew's like, AP supports the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then but then Made by Jim Bob was covering that debate, and Miss Apostate Prophet showed up in the chat, and Andrew
Oh,
Wilson called in, and whoa, if you want to see a
wow.
conversation that has no fruits of the spirit, that is it. Like
I
throwing
bet.
around slurs, anti-Semitism, talking about threats on families. I mean, it was
Yeah.
insane. Like,
That's
and that
pretty
community
gross.
is now threatening Miss AP and de facto Apostate Prophet. So it was wild. I'm like, oh my God. Like, not only was the debate insane, now there's these like huge Christian communities on YouTube in absolute war. And I'm just like, I'm glad I'm taking a back seat to this one. But one of the
that
things
sums it
that I
up,
want to
right?
say is, let's
Yeah.
say Andrew Wilson's completely correct that
Mhm.
the mega pastor Heritage Foundation type of evangelicals are trying to rebuild the temple and usher in the Antichrist, right?
Yep.
I know for a fact that Christofascisphere of
Mhm.
YouTube were voted for Trump in the United States, right?
Sure.
So
of
now
course it did.
there should be an immediate cognitive dissonance for them, where the person they voted for is in bed with the people who want the Antichrist, and their content creator is saying, "Don't support people who support the Antichrist." Well, they shouldn't support themselves as the viewers, because they voted for people who support the Antichrist.
Yes.
and I'm now I've made
It's fucked
the
up, dude.
statement a few times on my channel. I really need to cut it for a short. I bet Andrew Wilson is too chicken shit to tell his audience, you voted for the Antichrist. That's
I
right.
bet you're right. Yeah.
I just said on a live stream, somehow I might regret this. That
He's coming
Andrew
for
Wilson
you.
is too
Yeah,
chicken shit to do
he's
something.
after you now.
Oh yeah. It's not your
So
fault, Kip. I'm sorry.
that's all right. All
But
right.
anyway, that's a
So
meta thing
yeah.
for the chat, right?
Yeah.
You didn't even know about this drama. We've got tea and alcohol. Or is this alcoholic tea?
Is it? We just don't know. Do we need a poll? I don't know how to do that through StreamYard, so
But anyway, let's
sorry
do
guys.
this. Let's
But
do this
yes,
clip.
let's so yes, I wanted to talk a little bit about how these absolute geniuses twist themselves into pretzels trying to sort out what's going on in Matthew 27, where the Matthean evangelist talks about the saints who resurrected after Jesus was crucified and resurrected. So we'll watch this. I've got some things to say about it. Yeah.
We'll see if we can't understand everyone at one file.
Can everyone hear it?
I haven't played
Let
it
me know
yet.
if you can hear it.
Are you ready? Let's go.
It's kind of funny. As somebody who's online and who's in the sphere of influencers, maybe I should be taking advantage of the situation and just blogging about it and talking about it every day. But I feel like I don't want to do that. I have spent like over 90% of everything that's going through my head and happening just to myself in private, just talking to very few people about it.
What?
It's doing weird things in my ears.
They said they could hear it.
Why
Oh,
is
it's your ears. Oh.
It's my ears. So let me try this again.
Well, AP's audio for this stream is a little what's the word I'm looking for? Like tinny. It's when your mic just doesn't sound quite right. But anyway. While you're doing that, I do want to say that
It's not running, is it? I think
I paused it. I paused it.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. But I do want to
All right.
say that what AP is expressing here is two things. One is that words hard. One is that he's basically saying to the entire audience, I've had a lot of personal subjective experiences that have drawn me to this conversion event.
Yes.
And my like red flags are like up all over the place because it's so weird to have someone for years on the atheist experience and in this part of the community go for that. Like, and
that's true.
I'm just like, I'm still trying to parse it, right? And I mean, it had to be something pretty, wild, in my opinion, because I say on my channel, like, God knows what it takes to convince me, and I'll shut this shit down if it goes that way, right? I'll leave the content up there, but so it's pretty wild. That I mean, okay.
I agree with you. That is pretty wild. But I will also say, I can respect that because, at least he's saying the quiet part out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was an emotional, spiritual experience.
That's
which
right.
drew him into faith. It wasn't David Wood's bullshit apologetics.
Yeah, if it were about the evidence, right, he would have converted on that.
Yes.
Right. And I covered a thing about a Catholic who converted the same way. He listened to hundreds of hours of William Lane Craig and whatnot. Didn't do anything. And then something emotional happens and poof, it wasn't really about the evidence. And then people deflect and say, well, you need a spiritual, subjective experience to have the real change. But then, like, what do you do when there are these other religions and people who have that same thing? And if that's your standard of knowledge, right, it leads to terrible places like following the Mahdi, right? The Antichrist who's after Cameron now.
Yes.
So see, we brought it around again.
We are good. That's excellent.
All right, let's play.
So, okay, hopefully this works all right.
And only expressing very, very little of all of this online.
Good for you.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, good stuff.
You need to take Lily J's course on how to milk the community.
How to monetize faith.
That's rich coming from people who make clickbait thumbnails.
You're a big fan of Lily J, aren't you?
All right, let's watch one more clip and then we'll get to some more super chats. All right, so in this one, Alex gives the zombie saints argument.
Here we go.
This one is about a minute long.
mythical storytelling becomes really difficult. Dale Allison talks at length about the raising of the graves in Matthew's gospel
Yep.
at the time of Jesus'
Which is
death.
bonkers.
There's the bonkers line. Yeah, he says it's bonkers. Again, so this is Matthew 27, 52 through 53. They're going to talk about it a little bit, but I'll pull it up here.
Absolutely bonkers. But it's really strange how it's worded as well, because it says that when Jesus dies, it says at that moment when he dies, there's a great earthquake and all the graves open, and the holy ones of Jerusalem appear to people after the resurrection. And it's a really weird, clunky wording, because it says that the graves opened when Jesus died, but then it said that the people appeared to many after the resurrection, as if like they were just laying dead in the open tomb for 3 days or something. Like it's weirdly worded, and you've got this, and Matthew's the only one who reports it, and you've got this undertone of Jesus being the firstborn of the dead, and it's like, okay, like Dale Allison is pretty convinced this didn't actually happen. It's another question whether Matthew thought it happened,
right?
But the problem is that if Matthew didn't, this is just a bit of myth that Matthew is obviously telling some kind of allegorical story. What does that mean? It means that Matthew is willing to make up stories about resurrecting people from the dead in order to serve a theological
If it happened
point.
once,
And then the floodgates are open, especially because Matthew's.
Yeah, that's basically the argument here. What are your thoughts on this one, David?
Okay, but you could pause it for a
Let me go
second,
and read the
Nitty.
passage.
Yes.
So, hey, have you read Dale Allison's book?
I have not. No.
So it's quite good, and this is absolutely Alex is absolutely on point here, right? He dedicates an entire chapter to this episode of the graves opening up and the saints coming out and walking around in Jerusalem. And this is the point that Christian scholar Dale Allison makes about this story, is that embellishments, at a minimum, embellishments were happening already in the first century in the Gospel of Matthew. This is not something that actually happened, and there's very good reason to think this, beyond the fact that, I mean, it is, as Rhett says, fucking bonkers, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there are good reasons to reject this as something, as a lot of Christian scholars have done beyond Dale Allison. Mike Lacona does not accept this story.
Yeah, and he gets in trouble for it too.
He did get in trouble for it, but I wanted to point that out. I think it's clear that I'm certain that Apostate Prophet and Cameron Bertuzzi have not read Dale Allison, and that wouldn't surprise me. But I'm fairly convinced that David Wood, PhD, Fordham PhD in philosophy, David Wood, who promotes himself as a professional Christian apologist, who argues on a regular basis about the resurrection of Jesus and such topics. I'm quite certain he hasn't read Dale Allison's book. He really should, because it would save him some embarrassment here. So we watch him get embarrassed.
Jackie has a question here. Did the Jews even have saints? What is your take on that from your knowledge of the first century eschatology amongst? Well, sorry, this would also be like parlance of religious authority. Or like the colloquial language of how like the what would be Sadducees, Pharisees, and Essenes, like what language would they be using to describe their venerated people or their authorities?
So this is part of the question concerning this text, right? And it's unclear. So I'll just say at the outset, the word in Greek is hagios, which is usually a translation of the Hebrew word kodesh, which is holy one. Far and away, most often applied to divine figures, gods, angels, cosmic beings. There is some indication that it could in rare instances also apply to like the venerated heroes of the past, like the prophets, or maybe ancient priests or kings. But this is a big part of the question here, a big part of what's going on and why these guys fuck this up so badly.
I'm looking at the it's interesting to me that it says the bodies of the holy people, but yeah, all right, let's listen more.
So this is
I could put up on the screen.
Here we go.
Here.
Oh,
there you go.
All right, yeah, I'm going to start from verse 51. There we go. You guys can see it. All right. And behold, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth shook and the rocks were split. Sounds like an earthquake, right? Those
the earth shook. The earth shook and the rocks were split.
Does that happen? Do earthquakes happen? Is that something that we know about?
Nothing strange here except for the timing. In other words, if you're talking about someone might make something up. Earthquakes happen lots of times in the world. So the issue would be the timing. If you're saying it happened right when Jesus died, then that's something that someone could be making up. So just to give the sort of reasoning here.
So
yeah.
So let's that's really the problem. The people that's really what people struggle with when it comes to this text, right? It's the earthquake. That's the issue.
Yeah, you know, what does it say? Hold on. Okay, yeah, the tombs broke open. Yeah, he needs a mechanism. Matthew, oh my gosh. Okay, hear me out, right? If you just got a res, right? If you played World of Warcraft, you got a res, right? You still need your stamina to like get up, right? Your health bar is a little lower, your mana's got to come up, right? And so these people just got a fresh res. They're probably pretty disoriented, right? So they can't exactly get themselves out to like keep living. So you need the earthquake to break the rocks, because these people aren't going to, you know, be moving several tons of rock, right? So Matthew's sitting here like, okay, I need these people up and out.
Yep.
Earthquake, right? Like, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man, I just saw Thunderbolts and I don't want to spoil something, so I'll shut up. But there's something very related to that idea in there.
Okay.
But yeah, what isn't that? Yeah, I wonder if that's his motivation for the earthquake in the first place.
Matthews? Oh no, we know exactly. We know exactly, and I'll show you exactly what he's doing. Okay. But
you like my theory,
these
though,
chuckleheads.
for budget?
What's that?
Do you like my theory for budget Bible?
It's good. Yes, budget. This is an excellent budget Bible theory. I'm into it, Nitty.
Yeah, Claude Simeon, I did look into that to see if this was a Matthean appendix, and there's no real scholarship to agree with it that I could find. It's a good question. I do try to keep an eye on the chat, so I love you, chat.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I usually have Vishanti here to do that, but she's
I'm watching you.
All right.
So next verse, the tombs were also opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep.
That is something that could definitely happen in an earthquake. So earth is shaking, and you've got tombs, and they're in stone, and so on, and so tombs shake open. Okay, so that's something that could happen. But the weird part would be the timing so far. Go ahead.
And many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised.
Okay, so this is where they get the zombies claim.
And coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, and they went into the holy city and appeared to many.
Okay. So
pause it there for a second, Nitty. Now, what I don't know if you guys caught it, but what Alex is drawing attention to, and this is legitimately odd in this story, is look at how this is worded. So this starts apparently right when Jesus cried out and yielded his spirit in verse 50. And behold, the curtain of the temple was torn in two at that point. The earth shook, the rocks were split, the tombs were opened. Many of the bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised at that point. But then in verse 53, it says, and coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they went into the city and appeared to many. So,
You know what?
like, are
After
you
they got the
picking up?
res, they had to get flexed up like Wes Huff.
Yes, yeah. Except they weren't ready to die though. Oh dear. They were ready to live. But you got that right.
And I bet most of the chat has no idea what we're talking
They
about.
probably don't. This is kind of sad. Well, we'll have to show it now. But oh my God. If you don't know about the Wes Huff tribute rap, guys, you're missing out. But we will help you out. But in this text, look at what's happening here. The tombs are open at the point when Jesus dies, and the saints are raised, and then they have to hang around for 3 days, because it's not until after, it says in verse 53, after his resurrection, at that point they come out. They're just kind of chilling in the tombs, just hanging out there, just waiting. After his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many. So this is what's weird. And it's not just, yes, it's fucking weird. It's bonkers. As Rhett said, that, dead people are resurrecting en masse and going into the city to talk to the people, right? That's weird. But what's really, really weird is that they're raised and they just hang out in their tombs for 3 days, waiting, right?
They're like Jonah in the whale.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, there's problems right at the outset, like not just with the idea of what this text is trying to convey, but with the text itself. There's issues here, right? These guys don't see any of that because they're fucking idiots. Okay?
Right.
They are. And make no mistake about that.
Alpha Centurion asked the question, why does it have to be a literal claim and not a literary expression or allegorical claim? But I'm not aware of any, okay, could you maybe think that Matthew is marrying something like Jonah with the Valley of Dry Bones, right? That there's an event where God is breathing life back into Israel and putting flesh on the bones and bringing these people back up and out. Is something like that happening here to Alpha's point, maybe? Or
I think this is what Mike Lacona says in essence about this text is something in that vein, that this is just literary convention to convey the significance of this moment in an apocalyptic sense as part of the eschaton, right?
Right. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's additional texts which have riffed on Ezekiel's vision of the Valley of the Dry Bones.
Hey.
Yeah, right, yeah. So it's fun, but yeah, let's watch the geniuses at work here, shall we?
Yes.
One, this would be people that had died recently. This would be people that died recently. Why? If anyone's recognizing them as someone who died. In other words, this is not like this isn't like King David rising from the dead.
Why
and appearing to
not?
people. This would have been people are recognizing them as someone who had
Okay.
died.
You caught that, right?
Right.
The saints in this passage, according to the certifiable genius David Wood, are people who died recently because
They had to get recognized.
they were recognized. They were recognized. That's it.
Mm.
Really? Is that what we're going with? So, and I assume recently, within days, must be right, because I think I'm not I'm not an expert in
Resurrection.
not that either, but in body decomposition.
Well, that wouldn't
What-
matter because I think Paul's in 1 Corinthians 15, he's like, you're raised to a new body. Well, that
body.
also presents a whole new problem, right? Where in Paul's eschaton, in his end times conceptions, that only happens after the full resurrection of the dead,
Yes.
meaning everyone. So you can't have Matthew, right, saying that these people got new bodies without some kind of contradiction or exception in this particular case. And it's a total one-off, right? And so you basically have to kind of special plead for Matthew in a sense there, because the rest of the Christian
You really
Testament
do.
seems to lean Paul's way, right? That there's not a pre-regenerative resurrection before the resurrection, but at any rate,
Yeah.
but
I think
yeah,
you're
like,
right.
but here's the other thing though, like if these are holy ones, venerated people, then one, why is it only them? And two, what's to stop David from being raised and saying, hey, look, I'm actually David, right? Like, why not?
It's
But
fair.
anyway,
I think ultimately, I think the reasoning, and this is the problem with the reasoning here, is that David doesn't understand the Bible. He doesn't know it near. I mean that, like, he doesn't know it nearly well enough to recognize that you should pay attention to when certain terms like hagios, holy ones, saints, as it's translated, are used, because he's got this very Western anglicized sense of what
what a saint
the
would be.
saints are,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's reading this text in English. He thinks these are just, excuse me, righteous people. I'm on the crown now. So yeah. So he just thinks these are righteous people, like, good people who have died recently. Get this distinction, hagios. This is not how the term is used in the New Testament, nor throughout the Septuagint translation of the Hebrew Bible. I've looked into it. I didn't look at every instance, but by and large, this has to do either with, well, almost entirely, this is with reference to like divine beings, cosmic beings, angels, gods, those sorts of things. I think in this context, the writer of Matthew is using it clearly to refer to dead, highly revered heroes from the distant past. This is how when you read the commentaries, this is how everybody understands this text. David Wood is on an island.
Really? Did early Christians think that too?
That these were that
Uh-huh.
these were like the long dead
The men of
prophets and
yeah.
yes, absolutely. I think there's no question that that's what's happening here, that these are
So I was
the
right.
saints in this case are those like the great prophets and the kings of old and the priests. So but yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think a lot of capturing Christianity's viewers would prefer David Wood's view because raising of those more ancient peoples produces more cognitive dissonance than thinking, which is interesting in itself, right? Than thinking people recently dying coming back to life, right? Because it seems even more fantastical, right? To, like I said, you would need God to also, show the people, oh wait, this is really David, right? But would it matter? I mean, no. Wait, were there traditions about the tombs and burial places of the patriarchs?
So Matthew is getting this from a passage in Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 14. The governor, by the way, governor, there's two P's on Kip, but you've got that right. Those are the hagios. So let me just hit play. We'll watch a little bit more of this. Let me just pull up. I actually did a translation of this exact passage recently for the forthcoming book. So let me just pull that up. But
all right, I'll play more.
Yeah, hit play.
This would be people who had recently died, and it's saying that some of them came to life. Some of them came to life and appeared to people in the city. Got that so far?
Yeah.
So the idea would be, as far as the argument goes, one, did this happen? And two, if it happened, why didn't other writers mention something like this? And if other people didn't mention this, does it sound like something that's made up? Here's the thing. You could totally grant that. So you got a couple of ideas here. One, this actually happened, and Matthew is the one who recorded it. Keep in mind, everyone has a limited amount of space with which to write a document.
Okay, I thought this part was fucking hilarious. Right?
Yes.
Like, what? Like, let's let you get your point across before I. Yeah.
A scroll in the ancient world, if you want the longest scroll you can actually go and buy, I think it's like something like 30 feet and so on. That's why, by the way, Matthew, Luke,
that has to be totally wrong, but
Luke, John, and Acts are all about the same length. That's the length of a scroll that you would buy for a document back then. So they all have to choose what they're going to include. So, and I'm saying that not every
they're selective because they've got budgetary constraints, guys.
Now I have something else new to say, but I still want you to get to your point first. I'm gonna write it down so I don't fucking forget.
All right. Okay.
Everyone includes everything. And so if you want to say this happened and Matthew was the only one who recorded it, and why didn't the others record this as well? Well, maybe they were focused on other things. That's one direction you can go in. Two, you can go in the direction like Mike Licona and so on, where he describes this as a kind of language that people use and so on.
Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic language. He's not actually claiming this happened. This is how you would describe something of tremendous significance or something like that. And then you'll have the idea that he didn't that this didn't happen. And so the question there would be, one, as Alex is pointing out, did Matthew think that it happened? Did he actually believe that it happened? Or did he know he was making that up? And if he knew that he was making that up, oopsie, what else is he making up? So those are the main possibilities that are on the table.
See,
but here's the thing.
That's all they're concerned about. What they're really, really concerned about is the implications behind the notion that somebody might have made something up and knew it was false. That's such a big deal to them. It's such a big deal to them.
Did you want to pull up your passage?
Yeah. Let's so where this is coming from is Zechariah chapter 14, verses 1 to 9. There's a whole section
Hang on.
in Zechariah.
Let me
that
I got you. I've
what you
got
do?
it up.
Oh, do you want to? I mean, we could also
let me make
just show
the
my translation,
big.
but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, let's watch
Yeah.
yours. Let's look at yours.
You want to see mine?
You've
Okay,
got
let's put
spicy Hebrews.
I do.
Yeah,
All right.
you
Let's. I have to stop.
and while you work on that, chat
entire screen. Here we go.
Chat, you like the stream. Press a 1 in your chat if you've learned something about the New Testament tonight that you didn't know before. Give us those ones.
By the way, I am not a New Testament scholar.
It doesn't matter. We still know a lot. I'm not a scholar either. I'm a former Christian zealot, but hey, it is what it is.
Record.
We need those chat messages. It helps the algorithm, right? You're engaging. We're engaging you. We all love each other here.
Very much so. It's all about.
Oh yeah,
love
and like
here.
the stream. Come on, guys.
You know what? I don't know why, but Chrome is not allowing me to share my entire screen. So we'll have to look at yours.
Mark Reed.
But I will read mine.
Neither
Okay,
are any of the
sorry.
people on the panel.
Well, no. All right.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna read the English over here.
Yeah, but I'll read
What verse?
mine because my translation is
Mhm.
bitchin'. But
All right.
but show them the text.
Okay. So where are we starting?
I'll just start at verse 1.
1. Okay.
Chapter 14, verse 1, and I'm reading through to verse 9. Okay.
Hold on.
Oh no, I
Too
saw
much
that.
zoom. Too much zoom. Okay, there we go.
Damn it. There we go. Okay. You have to put it on the stage though.
Oh.
It's not there yet. Shit. Oh, we're professional YouTubers and I'm
Well,
drinking.
you have to put it on
and
the stage.
Oh, I have to do it. Whoops.
You're the
I'm
master
just
of
so used to
Vishanti.
Vishanti just having
Yeah.
control of everything.
Yeah,
So
okay.
all right, but I'm gonna read my translation, guys. Okay. So here it is. Look, a day is coming for Yahweh, and your spoil shall be divided in your midst. Then I will gather all the nations to Jerusalem for a war. The city will be captured, daughters will flee, women will be assaulted. Half the city will go into exile, but the rest of the people will not be wiped out from the city. Then Yahweh will come out and he will fight against those nations like the day of his fighting on the day of battle. This is the important part of this passage here. This is starting in verse 4. His feet shall be, I think it's verse 4, isn't it? Am I on verse 4? His feet shall be planted on that day on the Mount of Olives, which faces Jerusalem from the east. The Mount of Olives will be cleaved in half from east to west, a huge gorge. Half the mountain will shift to the north and half south. The valley in the mountains will be stopped up, for the valley in the mountains will reach to Azel. It shall be stopped as it was stopped because of the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. Then this is the really key part here that Matthew is focusing in on. Then my God comes, all the Kiddushim, the holy ones, the saints, with him. So it shall be on that day, there shall be no light, cold, and frost. It shall be one day. It is known to Yahweh, no day and no night. It shall happen at the time of evening. There will be light.
Wait,
So,
okay, wait.
Yeah.
Something else I noticed.
Mhm.
So right after holy ones with him, there's darkness, but it's the daytime
Yeah.
in the crucifixion.
No day, no night. It
So
shall be
it's-
one day.
It's not
Evening.
visibly day, right? But it's not
Yes.
the actual night either. So you've got that actual tension there to fulfill this part. But at any rate,
Yes. But you hear it, right?
Oh,
Do you
totally.
hear it?
I didn't even
Do you
know
hear
that
it,
this
chat?
correlation was here.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't it a midrashic thing to take one section and another and craft it into something coherent for your purposes, right? Like the Essenes did that too, right?
Yes, exactly. So do you see that in verse 5, at the very end of verse 5? This is the critical part of the text. Then Yahweh, my God, will come, and all the holy ones, the Kiddushim, with him. You see that there?
Mm-hmm.
In Greek, the word that's translated with is meta. This word can either mean with or it can mean after. Okay? So, when Matthew is reading this text, when he is trying to figure out what's going on here, what he's doing is he's saying, oh, the Kiddushim, the holy ones, those must be the renowned people from old who are in their tombs in the ground that have now opened up because of this earthquake.
Yes.
Right?
Where it's
But
split. Yeah, okay.
yes, but now he's also reading that the holy ones will follow after him, not with him. It's the same word, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Because Jesus has to be the firstborn.
Right. The first fruit
Of the
firstborn,
first fruits of the resurrection. So you can't have anybody coming out before that, even though the graves are already opened and they're awake. It says that
they gotta get flexed up first.
Woke they gotta get flexed up first. Oh God.
Get the rest of the rocks out of there.
So, oh my God. So that's what's happening here. This is what Matthew is drawing from. But these chuckleheads just don't see this. They have no clue because they don't know how to read the fucking text.
Well, this is also why Matthew doesn't know how many donkeys, a Messiah rides on.
Right. Exactly. Matthew is also proven to be not the best at expositing his Old Testament text.
Jesus got assed up and ready to ride.
Oh, all right. We absolutely need to go and look at that.
I'm spitting scripture fire over here.
You really are.
This is why is why I'm around.
That's why. Let's watch this. One more thing I want to draw attention to here, and then we'll check out the
Wait,
the
are you
Wes
sharing
Huff.
yours then instead of mine?
Oh no, you share yours because it worked better when you did it. So
all right, let's get the rest of this clip in.
Does it work for you?
It is for me.
Oh,
did
here
you
we go.
switch yet?
Oh, I have to
I'm in
remove that.
theater mode. There you go.
There you go.
There we
All right, you're good.
deliberately made this up. He deliberately made up this story. And they're like, uh-oh, what would that mean? Well, what it would mean is you can't trust material that's unique to Matthew. That's what it would mean.
Right?
If material is unique to
Right.
Matthew, like this, it's in Matthew, it's not in other places. If it's unique to Matthew and it's not found elsewhere, then if you think Matthew is making things up, then you wouldn't trust Matthew on material that's unique to Matthew. That wouldn't tell you anything about Paul or anyone else. It wouldn't tell.
Well, I just pointed out that it would be a contradiction to Paul, depending on how you
Yeah.
actually read this part. But I think, are you done with this, the commentary on this part? Because there
Yeah,
were two
sure.
things I wanted to say.
Yeah. For
One
sure.
is saving shekels on scrolls. Come on,
Right.
now. Like, here's the thing. Like, let's even grant that for whatever reason, because Matthew, Matthew, Luke, and Acts are relatively the same length, which I think that's actually a contested thing. But maybe my reason is that you'd have to, have the actual Greek words composed get to those similar lengths, but how do you actually know that? Second, this is to these authors, this is one of the most important things they communicate, right? So why would you be picking and choosing in the first place, right? And the idea of picking and choosing is a way to justify omissions,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like, wait, what happens from this day to that day? Why is Jesus making this enigmatic statement? Well, we can't go into theology now, right?
Yep.
Well, but it would be very necessary, right? Especially if it's going to be vague and if it's God doing it, right? Like, why is God putting this vague stuff in here? Why is he being selective when we could offer something incredibly important to clear up any possible confusion later? Like, upon this
can
rock
be
I will
done.
build my church.
Yes.
Can we figure out what that really meant? No, selective, right? Let's say they were running out of room, just buy another damn scroll, because you taught me that things like Deuteronomy or Isaiah, there's a process of appending, right? So if there's something so important in the literature you want to distribute, you can merge scrolls so that they are a big scroll
I also think
that
yes,
exists.
this
And
is
these
yes,
people
this is true.
who can not just read Greek, right? And speak Hebrew, whatever, right? They have the financial and lifetime situation in which to be able to pen things for extended periods of time, right? So the idea that these are poor people writing this down is absurd.
It is
on its face, right? These
Yes.
are educated people. I don't like it when R and Ra, I'm shooting shots fired. I don't like it when R and Ra goes, well, these early century goat herders wrote the Bible.
Yeah,
It's like, stop it, dude. Like, give some more benefit of the doubt and some
the super wealthy
value
goat
to the
herders
text.
that
Right? Yeah. It's like,
had
you're
like a-
actually buying into apologetics if you say that, because then you're granting them the character of the people who supposedly wrote it, right? And which is like, I don't really have that much of a bone to pick with R and Ra chat, but that's just a particular thing, right? The other thing is, I want to give chat a tool that I think will be useful in how apologists say, well, the atheist can't have it both ways with a synoptic problem and the testimonial differences to discount things. It's like, which is it, right? Well, under what I like to call the redactionist theory, you can account for both situations and there's a natural explanation for how the texts are the way they are. And it's not this, well, if a couple people witness a car wreck, there's going to say there's a guy in a red shirt that walked out of the passenger seat. Oh, there was another guy in a green shirt in that car. Well, was there only 2 guys? Well, there could be more guys, like the angels at the tomb.
Yeah. Yes.
But a redactionist theory says the author of the next text who has Mark, right? Matthew or Luke,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
They are fine with content that suits their purposes. But when content has a problem that they need to fix, they keep everything they feel they need and they redact it, amend it, cut, whatever, to suit the rest of their purposes. So it's not so much that they copy word for word and that's the only skeptic issue. It's not so much that there are differences. It's because there are both and there's a natural explanation for both. So now when people say, oh, you're just saying the synoptic problem, no, I'm saying the redactionist theory.
It's good. It's a good point. So I gotta say something about this idea too, about limitations of space. Yes, it's true that there are limits to how large you can make a scroll. But let's get real here. The Gospel of Matthew is not the fucking book of Jeremiah or Isaiah or the Psalms. Like, we have examples from Qumran of at least 2 books of the Torah together on the same scroll.
Oh shit.
At least 2, right? Like, that's a fuck ton of material, especially when you're comparing it to Matthew. Okay. Like, this is not the problem that they make it out to.
They went to save a shekel for those.
Yes. There you go. So, yeah.
But yeah, like, and these, if these are educated people, it is kind of silly to then say, well, these particular elites, they didn't have the budget for the Isaiah scroll size, right? They needed the dollar menu for the gospel, clearly.
Okay. I guess if you're going with that, more power to you. I think we'll let that go and we'll move on. But I just want to point out to everyone that David Wood is a moron. And he should probably learn to read his Bible first before pretending to tell people how to read it. I think that would be useful.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and I don't care. And this is, so the crown is starting to kick in now. So I get some water.
And then if you need to, I can entertain people. If you get some water, mix, and you can stay on longer because you're gonna even out the flow there.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm all right. I'm all right so
Okay.
far.
Or just get some
but
potato chips for no reason.
I ate the last of them today, sadly, in the house. I know. I complain a lot, but I think my complaints are legitimate about these guys with philosophy degrees who think that they know everything about everything. Stay the fuck out of my lane. I am so sick and tired of the philosophy bros coming in and telling me and telling my audience how to read the goddamn biblical text, because they never get it right, and they clearly don't understand it well enough to know how to read it in the
Well-
first place.
Well, then they walk away with something unbiblical.
It is highly unbiblical. So yes,
Are we ready for the anthem of our golden
yeah, but
boy?
before we gotta do the Wes Huff thing,
Oh.
but we actually have super chats. So I
Yes.
think we should read a couple of these. The last high, the
Let's
least
applaud our
high.
supporters.
I hope the least high that that by this point you are no longer the least high for $2 says that if Jesus rejected his own suffering, why should I? Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Do you have anything to say
No.
about that? It's good. I support your decision. So I pulled up this one from Tyler V. Did Second Temple Jews think their apocalyptic descriptions were symbolism, or did they think it would really happen? Like, we don't know, right?
Right. You're
We
not
don't
in
know.
the author's head. Yeah.
Sadly not. But I have to think that given what we do know from history about at least some of these groups, Josephus provides a description of the encounter, the military encounter between the Essenes and the Roman army. And it's bad. Like, it's really bad, because the Essenes came out to meet the Romans expecting, it seems, that the angels, that God was going to have their back, and they were slaughtered.
Like with
These- and it-
Sennacherib,
Uh,
right? When Sennacherib rolls up, and
Oh.
then the spirit of the Lord, or the
Yeah.
angel, one of the angels of the Lord, like kills a third of them, and then he's like, "Whoa, back
Yes,
out
yes,
here."
they're totally expecting something like that, right? Like, the people who wrote and collected the Essenes, the people who wrote and collected the Dead Sea Scrolls, believed that if you read the War Scroll, they have instructions in there about how you are to behave yourself in the encampments, because your tent might be next to the tent of an angel in your military encampment, right? So
Oh.
they seem to have had this expectation that they
See, I'm
were
not far off.
actually. What's that?
I'm not far off.
Yeah, no, not at all. So yeah, like there was, and it's tragic, but this didn't fucking work. It really, it just didn't. So I'll say this. I think that probably I have to think that not everybody was as sold out to this idea as everyone else. I think there were probably, as there is today, varying levels of commitment and varying levels of belief in these sorts of things. I expect the same in early Judaism. But that being said, there were certainly people who were operating under the expectation that an earthquake was going to happen. It was going to split the graves open, and the saints were going to get up and walk around.
Yeah.
So, but thanks, Tyler. It's a good question.
Mhm.
Reconstruct a Bible has pitched in $10. Thanks for that. I think the Gospels often turn metaphors into literal events. I think there's a kernel of truth to this too. The resurrected followers of Jesus seem like one. Trouble fitting things into the narrative was a typical problem of propaganda. Yes, I think that's probably spot on. We have to be careful about how much we apply this across our texts, but certainly some of them fit this model. Thanks for the question. And then Flavius Josephus, the first century Jewish historian, who's been a member for 2 months of my channel, which is pretty incredible. Thank you for being a
Hey,
member.
Flavius, can you tell us if you really wrote that Christ was the Messiah in chapter 9
Oh,
of
yes.
the
That-
Flavian?
Was
Was that you, or was it those filthy
yeah.
Christians that interpolated it? We gotta know.
He would, Flavius Josephus, the first century Jewish historian, would know. So we would appreciate you weighing in on this. I've been reading The Last Days of Socrates, and this shit hits hard after Apology. Boy, I bet. I have not read The Last Days of Socrates. So sadly, I cannot commiserate on that. But thank you very much for sending in a member chat. It's good. So, all right. Do you want to bring this up so we can all laugh together at the Wes Huff tribute?
Yes.
And you brought this to my attention, Nitty. So tell us about what we're looking at next here.
Yes. So for some personal soul crushing reason, I subscribed to Wes Huff's channel.
Oh, good for you. You and everyone else on YouTube.
Yes. I'm supporting the ad revenue of Apologetics. My bad, guys. But I saw that this short video dropped, and the thumbnail was interesting. And the title was Anthem, and it had a name I had never seen before. And I'm like, what is this? And I hit play, and I said to myself, shut up. This isn't what I think it is. Is it? And I listened some more and proceeded to die laughing. And then I sent it to Kip.
You did send it to me.
Well, I don't know exactly what I said, but I'm like, he has a
I
theme song.
actually think I stumbled into your stream before you actually sent me the link.
Flavius says, whoa, I simply wrote the antiquity of the Jews. I have no idea what it is.
Excellent.
Yeah. Amazing. But then not long after this totally hot bomb of a song cooked the internet, I did a stream about it. So you can go watch that on my channel, and Kip showed up for the end of it. And we did our best to discern the lyrics of the song, do some meta commentary, and laugh hysterically at the golden boy getting his golden jam posted on his channel. So, and another fun fact, at my channel, you can the creator of the song itself.
Oh yes,
showed up and left a comment, and he said I got his character and personality all wrong, which fine, right?
That's
fine.
fair. Yeah,
but he said it was entertaining, and that means I did my job right. If I can rag on you for 45 minutes and you were still entertained, I think I've won your heart.
So this is what Wes Huff reposted this.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
This is actually from an EP that the rapper made.
Yeah.
In
so
converting
do you have the captions? Do you have the captions on?
Oh yeah, let's see if the captions fixed it up.
Maybe it fixed it. Yeah. So this is a
because at first there were some pretty funny captions, but
this is a rapper who made a tribute rap to Wes Huff. And after we saw this, Nitty and I went digging around and looking for some of his other stuff, and wow, not what I expected. But yeah, I think it's worthwhile because I
Yeah.
think most of my audience hasn't seen this or been exposed to this yet. So I think it's worth taking a look at
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
if you go into looking his content, by the way, he's left up the things from before he was a Christian. So that's what
Which
should make sense of I mean, and it's shock
pretty
crap,
dark, guys.
and it's
pretty
very dark. It's very dark, and there's stuff
Pretty
about God he would never say now, of course. But all right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Takes
Some of the old
penalty
stuff's
that
pretty
we
cool.
deserve. The full wrath of God is put on Jesus on the cross. And
You got to clip Wes giving the gospel first. How to do it.
in that sense, God's law is fulfilled in justice. Because Christ gets the punishment we deserve, now we get what we don't deserve. He actually experiences all of the sins that we commit on himself. I'm blessed up like Wes Huff, I pray hard.
You know,
I'm blessed up
I got, like
Wes Huff.
I
pray hard.
Blessed up. What does that really mean, though? Right? Like, is it how he looks? No, I'm just teasing. But like, is it like because he's preaching the message and it's gotten so much attention? I mean, is it because he's also got this like financial and like reach and notoriety blessing? Like, could it be all those things? Like, I would hope it's that first thing only.
Oh,
right.
AR. Now I'm wondering. I'm messed up. Like
No,
Wes Huff.
no, kiss. Kip is messed up. And we're playing this video hard.
We are playing this video hard. This is true.
Let's see if we can make it past the next bar.
Let's see.
Praise God, I'm back under his great star, but no longer.
It's great star.
Great
not
star.
gray star.
Praise God, I'm back under his great star.
Which I'm assuming is Christ. Not the star boy, Wes Huff. I would hope not.
In the little bit, the tiny little bit of digging around that you and I did, we figured that Scribble had some sort of epiphany conversion experience at some point in the last 7-8 months, maybe.
It's like 4 to 6 somewhere.
Something like
and
that.
It's self-admittedly not on evidence. It's about having some kind of experience. That's
true.
Of course, that's the only way this works, right?
I continue. I'll say this, and I'll continue to pound away at this until you actually get him on your channel and talk to him. Scribble, if you're watching, please go talk to Nitty. But I continue to maintain. I hope that what I really, really hope is that he watched the video with Wes Huff and Billy Carson, and that's what did it for him.
Right.
He had an epiphany, a religious experience through watching that video, and just became surrendered it all, became a new man.
Wash clean, I'm God sent.
It's God sent, not I'm gent. But all right.
I'm God sent.
Under his great star, but no longer wash clean, I'm God sent. Y'all act silly on some Billy Carson nonsense.
Oh, that's the Billy Carson nonsense, right? Yeah.
He says, y'all act silly. You're on some Billy Carson nonsense. That's a good lyric.
It is a good lyric. It's really good. And let's be clear here. Nitty and I both listened to some of this guy's older stuff, and like some of it slays. Like it's pretty good. Everyone should go check out Scribble because some of his stuff is okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
I stand strong with Christ, you're like gorgeous. Only 80 others, my brain slang with bars hit. The raw kid, I did.
Those lyrics, yeah, they're just so not right in the captions.
If I'm living bars.
Wait, hit the raw kid. Oh no. I need to go back a couple seconds. So
This is
I'm living water. Swing from the
This is a
wells
child
with the word of
sacrifice
the
rap.
Father.
what?
I said it's a child sacrifice rap. I'm sorry. I'm drinking. I don't even have corn they're gonna blame this on.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Anyway. No combine me, no darkness can hold. The light is behind me, what's empty and cold. Now Christ is the fire, the light on the road. My desire to grow, enlighten and bold. I'm on that Wes Huff, flexed up and ready to die.
Yes. Wes Huff, flexed up, ready to die. Yeah.
Not like a saint in a tomb.
No.
Yeah,
those
I'm
saints were
flexed
ready to
up
live.
because he was already blessed, right? So it's
Yes.
got to be he's flexed up and ready to die. And one of the points in my live stream was I would never, no matter how much I enjoyed a Christian apologist, write a song about them and say
Oh my God.
that I'm ready to die with them, of all people. Right? I'm flexed up with Wes Huff and I'm ready to die. Like I'm turked up and I'm ready to ride. I'm cragged up and I'm ready to die. Like, do you see how stupid it sounds when you put anybody else in there?
But I think, like, let's be honest here. I think that one of the appeals here is that Wes Huff is jacked, right?
Yes.
Like, this is it.
Mhm.
It's not
I
that,
would hide behind him in a fight.
well,
It'd be hard though. I'd have to duck.
yeah, I mean, you know, when,
I'm sorry. I can't,
Well,
you
I'm
told me
sorry.
how tall he
Wait,
really
wait.
was.
when you see him in person, it's you know, it's you have a different perspective.
Yeah.
But you know, it's he's, I think this is part of the appeal. He's jacked. He has looked after himself, as my friend Chrissy Hansen. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but as my friend Chrissy Hansen has pointed out, he's a specimen, you know. So I think this plays into that. You know, if William Lane Craig was on like an intense workout regimen that had him in,
You got to
was it?
go back 30 years and maybe
Yeah.
get the bearded Craig.
the
jacked.
bearded Craig. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Mhm. I mean, Turek tried it, but he's just not. He doesn't have any natural look outside of
No.
busting out of a polo.
That's true. That's true.
Pink one. sometimes.
Wes has this in spades.
Yes. Yeah.
He certainly does.
All right, we'll do a couple more bars here.
Flexed up and ready to die.
You ready?
I'm
That
still
Wes
not
Huff,
sure.
flexed up and ready to die.
Flexed up and ready to die.
I'm still
Mm.
not sure what that means. I don't know.
I-
Chat, help me. What does that mean? I don't get it. I've heard this song like 100, like maybe not 100 times, but certainly dozens
So,
of times.
do you want to know the Urban Dictionary for it that makes this totally worse?
Oh, yes, please. I do.
In Urban Dictionary, flexed up means to be dressed or presenting oneself in a way that's designed to show off wealth, status, or accomplishment.
Oh, ouch.
So if what you're saying is you're well, if you're saying you're
Wait.
blessed up with Wes Huff, then
Wait a
you're
minute.
coattailing, Wes Huff.
Nitty,
What?
is this a parody?
And he hasn't told him?
Oh, awkward.
Yeah. Like
I
if you're
am.
and what a weird thing to say, right? I'm financially blessed and ready to die. Like, are you Kanye? Like, what is happening? Right? Or like
Oh my
it's
God.
really not it's this weird thing in this is not the Christo-fascist sphere, but the Christogriftosphere, right?
The Christogriftosphere.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the
Okay.
Christogriftosphere, they're friends with the Christo-fascists, but they're the Christogriftosphere.
You are drinking, aren't you?
The
You
Christogriftosphere.
are not Legolas.
You leave that up
Or
to
are
you.
you Legolas? I don't know.
At any
I don't
rate,
know. Okay.
the Christogriftosphere, you guys need to take these terms home, and there will be a quiz for what these are. There's the atheosphere, the mythosphere, the Christofascistosphere, the apologetosphere, and the Christogriftosphere. Anyway, the Christogriftosphere is like the Rustlins, the Paul and Morgan, the Girls Gone Bible, like that place of things, right? And so they're encouraging people to read the words of Jesus, right? And not only that, but to be to have him as your example of your lifestyle, right? And what are some of the things that Jesus says, Kip, for your lifestyle?
What does Jesus say about your lifestyle? I mean, he says that
Oxes
you
have
should
holes
be just
and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay
no
his head,
place to lay
right?
his head. Yes.
In Luke chapter 14,
Mhm.
the true disciple is ready to just give up everything,
Everything.
go in all
Everything.
out,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
You're only to take minimal things if you're, out preaching. The Apostle Paul was a tent maker, right? And so there's nothing more antithetical to me to Christian value than to live complexly. Because the motto of my former church here, we were members of one another here. I had whole books about how to live, okay?
Oh God.
Was that we lived simply, right? We repaired
Yes.
our cars instead of getting new ones. We are in the budget neighborhood, the Big Lots, Clintonville, right?
Yes.
And to convey that we don't need these material blessings. We don't need to be flexed
No.
up, right?
No, you don't
Because
need to be
Jesus
flexed
wasn't
up.
flexed up, right? And
That's
so
right.
there should be a bunch of cognitive dissonance in these Christogriftospheres amongst their subscribers, right? But there isn't. And I think it's because it's that idolization factor of these people, right? And Scribble, it's not a parody, right? And this isn't his own Christogrifting, right? if it's not that, then there has to be some kind of relationship here happening with Wes Huff that is, getting in the ride, the flexed up material blessing ride, that is antithetical to Christianity, right? Or to at least, I think a more honest fundamentalist Christianity, right? I think one that's more internally consistent. But internal consistency doesn't matter, right? When you're at this tier,
Nope.
right?
That's true.
I
That's-
find a lot more honor and empathy and praise should go to apologetics channels that don't have a Patreon, or it's literally their hobby, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because when Peter and John were on the temple steps and there was a lame man in front of them saying, "Sirs, do you have any money?" They said, "A silver and gold we do not have, but we do have, the gospel. Now get up and walk." And he got up and walked, right?
Mhm.
And so the idea here is we don't have these material blessings to give to you. We have something better, right? And that's why I appreciate those channels more. And it goes back to something else you said about doing apologetics and getting into apologetics and being an apologist, is the way, and this is actually pretty unique in the world of Christendom, that Protestants get to do this, right? Most of the apologetosphere that we deal with is Protestant. And
Yes.
And that's because they hold to things like sola scriptura,
Yeah.
and their
Mhm.
epistemology comes from the Holy Spirit. And they're able to have a confidence through their assumed relationship with God that they have an authority living inside them, right?
Mhm.
That grants them the ability to speak on shit they don't understand,
That's
right?
it.
To become lay experts in everything, which means they don't know shit. But it gives them this confidence because it's built into their worldview that God makes them confident. And so they have a pass to do what they're doing, right? They have a justification for how this works. And that might be a lot of where that confidence comes from, Kip. It's that it's rooted in how they read the scriptures, especially like when Jesus says, go and proclaim the gospel before like kings and rulers, and don't worry about what you're going to say, because the Spirit will give you confidence to say what I want you to say, right? And so they're banking on, well, I have this, intertestament relationship. It's from the God of the universe, so let's go, right? Fight me, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so that also explains why, what's really funny is if you watch like the live streams and Superchats that come in for like an inspiring philosophy live stream, you'll get these, I'm going to guess, like young people who are really into this. Like they're seeing apologetics reaffirm their faith, and they want that
Yes.
purpose, and maybe even subconsciously like the notoriety and shit. But really it's about that parasocial relationship, and they super chat, I want to start an apologetics channel. Where do I start? And what these the Christo grifters do is they say, just do it. Just get started, right? Just make your channel, put yourself out there, right? And it's going to be scary at first, but you'll gain confidence as you do it more.
Yes.
Right? And the great thing about YouTube is that you don't actually have to look pretty. You don't have to look sexy, right? You could just be an avatar, for crying out loud. You could get in your car and be a car theist, right? And you're going to blow up not because of the quality of your content, not because you're saying something unique. It's because you're working off that divested authority and you have the benefit of your Western algorithm. You can be like Daily
Right.
Disciple and repost
Yes.
Kent Hovind and
Yes.
you'll blow the fuck up.
It's just,
But
it
there's
doesn't
no
matter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You win, right? And if you're
Mhm.
doing like what I'm doing, right? It where's the algorithm, right? I'm shilling myself, but I don't really care. It's a hobby, right?
But guys,
But yeah,
seriously, there is 83 people watching Nitty. You guys should go and subscribe to Nitty and
yeah.
watch. He goes out
I'm
to
not a scholar.
you're in Columbus, right? You
Yes,
go out
yes.
to Ohio State. Is that it?
Yeah, the Panera Bread that's over there. So if you're actually
Yeah.
near me, you can meet me in person
Oh,
and get fucked
fun.
up with me.
Yeah, man.
My life.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
But no,
So,
I'll explain it. I do these I have a little series called It's Best to Be an Atheist. I take a whiteboard with that on it on a campus and I say, let's chat. Right.
yeah,
And part of it is to
it's fucking awesome.
yeah, to break stereotypes of atheists, right? And to let people experience a different viewpoint in a calm and collected environment. And I try to like let them talk, really. And then I was actually trying to do a recording Friday, but corporate was going to be there, and I
Like
actually
from the
know
university or from
no, from
Panera Bread?
Panera. Yeah,
Oh,
I've actually met Sam Cavelli,
oh my
before.
God, right. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, um, and so, he's super Catholic, and he's from, not far
Of
from where I
course he
grew
is.
up, and so I was like to the owner, I'm like, "Oh, I heard corporate's coming. How about I don't have my sign up today? Um, and you tell me when he leaves," and typically, like a ghost shopper, he, didn't show up. Yeah.
Ah,
But I'm
okay.
hoping to go back this week's gonna have nice weather, and I swear to God, I'm not gaslighting you guys or, teasing you or whatever to, bait you in or something. I really wanna get these recordings in, like, live. I actually did one live. Uh, I brought my computer, camera, everything. Did one live like that. Actually Tuesday, I'm gonna go to
Oh,
the one in
oh
a
yeah.
suburb that lets me do it too. 'Cause I need my car work done. I'm gonna be near that one. So hopefully I get a new one in. And the weather's nicer. I'll be heading to campus more often to try and get this done. But I do let Christians on and call in shows sometimes. I try to be
Yes.
charitable and fun.
You're
And
very good
thank you.
at being charitable and fun. I think you are a very um disarming, approachable person in
I
your
really
in your
appreciate that.
YouTube persona. It's very evident.
And then I do like live review fun shows, right? Or
Yeah.
I find Christian content like this and we have a good laugh. Every once in a while, I get fussy with apologetics. So if you
Mhm.
like that kind of stuff, and you want to be more a part of the atheosphere, right? There's a whole corner and community of people that show up there. They're great people. And they're always very supportive too. And
Yeah.
I'm linked to a whole bunch of other channels and content you can find and enjoy as well. So I try to let
But
people on have their own voice, and um, there you go. So I
but
look forward to seeing you there. And if you're enjoying the things I have to say, this is a lot about how I communicate. And if you miss out on a Myth Vision show, you might hear about it from me
you might. It's true.
or Kip. Kip's
So,
important.
but
Sorry.
seriously, guys, go and fucking subscribe to Nitty if you haven't already. Um, I noticed some commotion in the chat about the fact that that Wes Huff is a short king. He's 5'7". 5'8" maybe.
I'd still get
Um,
behind him in a fight.
yeah, probably. I mean, I'll just. I mean, I was. So I was at an apologetics conference.
Whoa, the man
Right
himself
there he is.
with Ruslan.
So with
Ruslan?
Ruslan, yeah,
Ruslan. Gosh.
Ruslan KD.
I'm sorry, Ruslan.
This
I
was.
also said you were in the griftosphere, Christogriftosphere.
He is firmly like he really is just firmly in the Christogriftosphere. He really is.
I want these terms to
It's
kick off.
very. Yes, I think it's worthwhile. I'm going to start using it because it makes so much sense. But yeah, you know, I am not a tall guy by any stretch of the imagination. So just yeah.
I have that Punisher shirt that you wore.
Oh, do you?
The gray one?
Yeah.
Yours seems a bit more faded though.
It's a pretty old shirt. I had retired it. No, Jesus tail. I'm not wearing lifts.
Everyone is shorter than Dr. Bird.
Yes, that's true. That is true. So that I had retired that Punisher shirt for a while. To my pajama shirt pile. Because I thought it had a stain on it, but over time it came out. So I unretired it. I don't know if that's kosher or not. Let me know
if you love a piece of clothing, I mean,
you should wear it.
You're just like Jesus. You can bring out the old with the new.
So I actually April I was supposed to meet Dr. Jennifer Bird at SBL in San Diego in the autumn, early winter, and never did. But it is my understanding my co-host, my producer Vishanti, met Dr. Bird, and she tells me that she is very tall. I'm not.
She's got
entirely sure how
Norwegian
tall.
genes.
Yes, I believe so. But I can tell you, as someone who is
Sorry, I'm just laughing at AR.
100 Wes Huff.
I don't know if we're flexed up with Wes Huff. That gorilla's ready to death. Anyway,
as someone who is pretty self-conscious about his height, I can tell you that that the content creators that I have met in person at SBL and at other places are never as tall as I imagine them to be. So there's that, like Jacob Berman, for example, right, from History Valley. When I met him, I was just like, wow. I mean, this guy is a lot shorter than I expected him to be. But I don't know. There's that. I'm sure it's as I told Ruslan when I met him, because that's the thing. When I saw Ruslan online, I expected him to be, taller, and he's not. He's like my height. And I said this to him. I was like, I have come to think that everyone is taller on YouTube than they are in real life. So
I wonder why that is.
It's weird, right? It's very strange.
Instead of the camera putting on 10 pounds, it puts on 6 inches.
Like 6 inches. That's what it does. It puts on 6 inches. So yeah, right. But anyways, yeah,
it is about the camera angles, right? But with
yeah.
Ruslan, he's actually in full body shots though, like in his like panels, like
Is he?
circle rooms. Yeah. They like do like you know, the recline type thing, talking in the chairs.
Yeah, I guess.
But they
it's
don't
not.
stand up and walk
Yeah.
around.
No, they never stand up and walk around.
Is that
right?
why they have the really deep-seated like eat you chairs? Right, where everyone just gets Oompa Loompa'd by like how squishy the chair is.
So that could be the reason. I hadn't connected those dots.
It's in the zeitgeist though. It's not intentional.
That could be it. It's true.
Yeah, it's
Very
trendy.
true.
It's like a blue light background, which I refuse to do. I got yellow and green over here.
You do very yellow and green, and I
I
just
don't
have
do a
whatever.
bookshelf. Oh, you're so pretentious, Kip, with your bookshelf.
Those are real bookshelves.
It's true, yeah.
And it just happens to be what's behind me in my and that's all the bookshelves I have. I was not a very look, books are expensive. And when I was a PhD student, I spent most of my time at the fucking library, where the books are free. So I got lots of books for whenever I did book reviews or when I taught courses or things like that. But honestly, buying books, that is a commitment. It really is. So
I'm not trying to flex up. I've just literally got an itch.
You're Nitty's ready
I am
to
skinny
die.
as shit.
So
this is not a creator measuring contest.
It is not. I have told people that I like to think that I'm 5'10". But maybe that's a bit ambitious. So, yeah. All I know is I'm taller than Wes Huff. That's
we're all right. We're at 2 hours. Do you want to do some Freemasonry or?
I expect. So I feel bad that
you can't do 9.
That what?
You can't do 9 hours.
I can't do 9 hours, y'all. I just
9 hours.
I just don't have it in me.
It's okay.
And it's super late in Columbus, Ohio. Your cat looks like he went to bed already.
She is in this cat tree bucket which she is clearly too fat for.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, so
She's
it's kind of
sleeping.
like, yeah,
yeah.
Rosie the vacuum. She's something. Evie, I don't know what Evie's doing. Evie is upstairs or in the softer chair that's by all the Legos.
Oh dear. So
Yeah.
I mean I feel I feel bad because Maya Atkinson spent all of I mean she's usually sleeping by this time. I expect she's sleeping by now. So that's good. We
under
put her
the
to sleep.
radar.
So she spent all of let's see here.
An hour and some change finding that.
No, no, not even that. It was 29 minutes.
Well, she knows too. She knows that we are talkers.
It's true.
This is really a talk
I hope
show.
she knows this. That's very true.
But more importantly is chat. If you learned something that you're going to take with you
right
after the stream, that's what's so important, right? So if you learned something about the boblical texts the
boblical
unbiblical
text,
texts. Press a
right?
1 in the chat. We want that
Oh, that's good. Yes,
interaction.
press
Just give
a
us them
one. Let's
ones.
see. Did you learn
Yeah.
something, chat?
Did you learn something
If
about
you
the Bible or
learn
ancient
nothing
Near East?
at all and you're
Don't press
rolling
the
your
button.
eyes at us, or press a
No, press.
0.
Oh,
0
press
is good.
0.
You could
Yeah.
press 0 if you learn nothing. Oh,
If
look,
you learn too much, put an 11 because that's this stream went to 11.
Stardust Lilith, whose one dog is now named Dr. Kip, says that they're still up, so that's good. Prixie Soul, does this mean you're does this mean you're 4'11"? I don't know.
That's a tall amount of learning.
It's true, but it doesn't look like a lot of people. I mean, it looks like 6 people.
They'll get to it, or they're listening and they can't type. They're on their phone.
Mark Reed learned too much. Clearly, AR is being cheeky and playing Uno.
I see.
So yes, I don't know what this means. 118 in Toronto. I feel like I should know what that means because I'm Canadian.
No, that's the actual time. That's they're on my time.
Oh, that is the actual time. Okay. Right. Does that mean
Eastern Standard? Whoop whoop.
That's right.
Now I know what time it is in the 51st state.
Wait,
hold on. Pause.
You are
pause,
aware.
Pause,
yeah.
pause,
Okay.
pause.
Fine.
In the first moments of that battle, I will defect. Okay? Just so everyone's clear.
I'm fairly sure that you will not be alone. It's Archival Blob is chiming in from somewhere in Europe, where it's 7:20 in the morning.
Yes.
So
that would be good. Oh shit.
What are you
No,
trying to figure
that's
out?
not right.
What's wrong?
Oh no, that's
What are you
right.
doing?
You would
It
be in
is
like
right.
what? Like Germany?
It's
Yeah, I
like
was about to say
no,
France or Germany.
or maybe even I was
'Cause-
going to say maybe east of there in the Balkans.
Yeah, wow.
Is it Germany? It might be. I've never
'Cause
actually
it's not
checked
British
for
time.
archival. No, I don't think it is.
No.
Yeah.
I measure by Doctor Who.
I don't think because it's
Or
what is it
before
here
it went to
now? It's
Disney.
22 is 10:20, right? In the evening. 7:20. So that, I mean, that's 9 hours. So yeah, maybe that is central. Maybe that is central. Oh my God. Look who showed up. It's Dr. Joel Carrico.
Oh.
From Northwest Baptist Seminary.
Oh.
The famous heretic who thinks that Yahweh did not demand or even accommodate the possibility of child sacrifice. And he wants to know what the hell I'm doing. Well, listen, Joel, because you're not here, I'm stuck drinking fucking Crown Royal and hanging out with Nitty. So I,
No, you would hang out with me anyway.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
That is totally so. You know how this works. If you don't know, Joel.
We need everyone in chat, like me, I need context for this. No, sack the baby.
For what's happening here between
the baby.
Sacrifice
the baby. South Park, but Yahweh edition.
Yes. Dr. Joel Carrico is a friend of mine who lives just at the bottom of the hill over there, 10 minutes away. From where I do. And he is also a connoisseur. A connoisseur. I think he must be drinking some of those fine whiskeys right now. Because he's dropping all sorts of fucking nonsense in the in the chat. But Joel is a connoisseur of fine Scotch. In fact, we can thank Joel and some of his friends for providing us with Scotch Night at the Society of Biblical Literature annual meeting every year. But Joel will come up to my house on occasion and we'll drink Scotch that he provides, and we'll talk shit and yell at each other about how wrong the other one is about the Bible. And it's always Joel. Joel is always wrong about the Bible.
I see
It's
that
not
Joel.
me.
I would prefer he be right if he debated James White.
Oh, well, listen. Yes, Joel has
Because
also
James White is a terrible
run afoul
so
James White and has done a fine job. You've done a fine job, Joel, of maintaining some sense of competence and realism when encountering the likes of that fucking loser, James White. So
yes,
way to go. Well done. Yes, always right against
I
right.
subscribe to you for the fact that you debated White and apparently pissed him off. So you've earned,
yeah, man. Yes,
you've earned a nitty badge, a big
nitty
one.
badge. It's the best badge.
Yeah,
Joel.
actually, you've got big nitties now.
You got big nitties.
He has no idea what that means.
he probably doesn't, but that's okay. So yeah, it's been a little over 2 hours. I am issuing my formal apology to the Queen of the Goddesses for not even touching the video that she spent 29 minutes sourcing for us. I'm sure there will be hell to pay in the morning.
Grovel at her feet with reparations.
I intend to. I'll be ready for it. I'm usually up before she is anyways. So yes, but listen, for reparations, I think maybe this will suffice to let everybody know there's still 76 people watching. You guys, listen, you should be watching Bad Science Sundays, which is every Sunday at 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern on Maya Atkinson's channel, where they take a comedic approach.
Well, I think I can post the link. Here, I'll post the link.
Oh, you can, yeah, post a link. I would actually, if I could even pin something. It's true, Joel. Wes is pretty jacked, and also pretty short. And yes, AR is always in attendance at Bad Science Sundays. Ember.
The other thing about that is that Bad Science Sunday does have scholars on, or relevant experts in the.
They certainly do.
A good portion of the time. Other times we are riffing on, stuff.
My God. Oh, I have to say something. Listen, I have to say something, you guys. There was bingo last week on Bad Science Sunday, and I'm pretty sure that I won. But that I had left to go eat pie before I could get in on claiming the fact that I had won. I'm actually trying to pull up. I have my bingo card here. It's actually here. It's open on my computer screen, but I am worried. Dude, I won. I won bingo on Bad Science Sunday. I had Holly, sorry, you're always changing your name, you guys. Holly on Boblical Egyptian Hegemony Hawk was tracking the bingo cards. And listen, I had I have this right here. It's right here. I have card number 2371. I do. I got a bingo, and I was close to like 2 other bingos. I got a shit ton of bingo shit on that
Oh,
card.
Maya is here.
Oh my God. Holy shit. She's still awake. Now I'm scared.
We're in trouble.
We are. We really are. Yeah. Oh, it's just the self-satisfaction of knowing that you wanted something in life. And when you are a PhD in biblical studies, and you have to shill yourself on YouTube, you take the wins wherever you can get them. That is the lesson here. So I have clearly had
next
a
week. Oh my
lot.
goodness.
What's that?
Oh, Purple Prixie says to make you do this next week. We generally wanted to do this monthly, though, right? I mean,
I think so. We
don't want it
talked
to
a
get
little bit
old.
about monthly, bi-weekly.
Content is hard.
It is really difficult, and this is a.
You just hit me up, and I'll. I'm almost always free this time, so.
with your family asleep and your cat pestering you in the middle of the night.
Mhm.
Yeah, I believe it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll. We will be back for another one of these. And the next time, maybe we'll actually stick to the format of the show. Just to remind everyone, this is Budget Scripture Saturday. We are filling a hole in the schedule here because content creators like to do things on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, but not Saturday. So here we are. We're doing this, and we are shamelessly riffing on the very successful model of Bad Science Sunday on Maya Atkinson's channel.
Yeah.
Where
But we did get to cover Christo grifters. So.
We did, which is good. And that's in the vein of what this show is about. But ordinarily, and this did happen, even though we spent too much time on the Christo grifters. Ordinarily, there would have been a video here that Maya had selected personally for us to watch. And
they're off the wall. I mean,
they're crazy shit. It's nuts. And if you like that sort of thing, and you're into science shit, then yeah, go watch Bad Science Sunday.
Yeah. And
every
sometimes
Sunday night.
And sometimes you go over there taking your Hebrew Bible knowledge. And
sometimes.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, even though I don't know the first goddamn thing about science, I have been on Bad Science
Textual
Sunday
criticism is a science.
It's not.
Shut up,
actually.
it is. Shut up.
It's really not. It really isn't. So Archival Blob has sent in a 20 Swedish kroner super chat. Thank you for that. It's actually Sweden. What? Wait, what? It's actually Sweden. He is actually broadcasting from Sweden. May you have Hatikva. Thank you very much, Archival Blob. So yeah, but I think that's probably a wrap.
Yes,
tonight,
this was
right?
great. Yeah,
this was great.
I had fun.
And we will be back with some more nonsense on a future
Indeed.
Saturday.
Indeed.
Maybe in 2 weeks, maybe in a month. You just never know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the link for this show appeared only hours before we aired. But thanks everyone for coming
Yes,
and
thank you so
hanging
much.
out. It
Mhm.
was very good. So I hope you enjoyed watching David Wood
Dunked.
get dunked on, and then watching the musical stylings of Scribble, who produced.
I learned something that was important. I learned that Zechariah 14
Right.
was given an Essene midrash for Matthew
For Matthew.
27.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and
That's
that
very
makes
true.
a lot of sense of Matthew's tendency to just chuck in prophecy.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
And
half the time, right?
Septuagint prophecy, not just any prophecy. Got to leave room for misusing the words. So
You know he's reading the Greek there, not the Hebrew. It's abundantly clear. Thank you. Wait. So did you know? You probably didn't even know, Nitty, that Joel Carrico is like a world-renowned Septuagint scholar, and what that means is there's like 67 people.
Benatar? Is that what I'm supposed to read?
I
here?
don't know what the fuck he's saying, but what this means as a world-renowned Septuagint scholar, what this means, Nitty, is that there is 67 people on Earth who know who Joel Carrico is, and
Wow.
appreciate what he's doing. It's pretty great. So,
But there's not as many as who convened to make the Septuagint?
No, not as many.
Are we there
It's
yet?
very true. We're not. So Joel actually has, by the way, guys, Joel is still working his way through a commentary on the covenant code in the Septuagint that is going to. Is it going to be published with Brill, Joel? I think it's Brill, which means you can't afford it. So, but let us know. Let us know who's publishing.
Let's get
your commentary.
Let's get it on Audible. I'm sure that won't put anyone to sleep.
Oh, look, it's SBL actually, which means you probably can. Which means most of you. Oh, holy shit! It's the whole book of Exodus. I didn't know that. I thought it was just the covenant code. Wow, I'm super.
Damn.
Look, my level of respect for Joel went from here to like here. Look at that. That's awesome, man. Oh yeah, he did it with Larry Perkins, who also teaches at Northwest Baptist Theological Seminary. He's a great guy, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's co-authored.
You did your part.
Take it back. Which part, buddy? Take
He doesn't want it anyway.
He doesn't want it. All right. I have dragged this out way too long already.
Hey.
So what are you doing? Are you doing anything this week, Ninny?
Well, like I said, I'm hoping on Tuesday to go to a Panera and plop down and do a live conversation. Hopefully someone rolls up and wants to see if it's best to be an atheist and challenge me, or at the very least figure out why I would say something like that. And you can see on my channel, I do present a case of why it's best to be an atheist. My primary reason is usually that you don't have to live in a shit ton of cognitive dissonance when something new rolls around. So that's
fair.
Just a sliver. So I'm hoping to do that, and then maybe if something drops in the apologetosphere or the Christogriftosphere, I'll have some
maybe if
stuff to say about
Scribble
that.
drops a new track.
Drops a new track for Wes. Yeah, I would also really recommend if you're new to me, checking out, I did a stream called All the Cult Stuff in One Place. I think that's what I called it. Because I'm from like a zealous culty, the culty stuff in one place. I'm from like a zealous kind of mini cultish mega church in Columbus that I deconstructed from. So you can go watch that if you want more about my history and background and stuff like that.
So Nitty's got that linked in the chat there, guys.
Yeah.
So go check it out.
They go by Dwell Community Church now, Andrew.
What's
the
it
Daily
called?
Dwell Community Church. The Daily
Oh.
Beast actually wrote an article about them.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I have had Cincinnati chili.
Is that
So there you
good?
go. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nice.
And then I went to Kentucky and had a lot of bourbon. But they used to be called Xenos.
Like that sounds like the Scientologist.
No, it's
shit.
based on xenophilia or live as
Yeah,
strangers.
for
The
sure.
Bible
Got
passage
it.
in 2 Peter.
Yeah,
Live like
very
you're not
good.
of this earth.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the
All
point.
right.
That's the point. But it did end up creeping people out later on.
I bet it did.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There you
Cool.
go. There you go.
Yes.
Um,
Xenos.
But yeah, so that's some
Xenos.
about me and what I do this week. If people like hearing about that experience too, I'm more than happy to make more content on it. It's a bottomless pit for me. But yeah, So I'm pretty flexible about when I stream. But hopefully Tuesday, y'all can pray to science that somebody comes and talks to me and I get to do it live or make a recording. Either way, it's good stuff.
You can pray to Yahweh or Shamash.
I guess.
Or Baal.
Mhm.
Or
you can start
Ashra,
following
or one of the
Mahdi.
goddesses. Maybe Anat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that works too.
Are you doing anything else this week, Kip?
I'm probably going to do a live stream this week about I'm working on some stuff on the 2 powers of heaven, in large part because of this debate that Alex O'Connor had with David Wood, and how terribly David Wood, as usual, because he doesn't understand the text, botched this idea of the 2 powers in heaven. I figured, God damn it. It got a lot of attention, right? I figured, God damn it. I wish people understood this shit better so they wouldn't make these same fucking mistakes every time when they approach the texts. But related to that, I thought I would do a stream this week on the angel of Yahweh, the Malach Adonai.
Is that the one that Christians will claim is a theophany sometimes?
Jesus. It's always Jesus.
Is it all of those passages, or is it more than those? Are you going to cover more?
No, I'll probably just stick to angel of Yahweh stuff for the stream. I'm working on a prepared edited video, which is probably a month out still, on the 2 powers in heaven, which will provide a more comprehensive look. And I'm working. She's in the community, guys. I'm working with Simone on that.
Oh, yeah.
She runs a great blog. She's doing work in rabbinic literature, which is really where a lot of this 2 powers stuff resides. It's not stuff that I'm intimately familiar with, so I'm getting some help with her on that, and it's going to be really good. And I think it's something that people need to have a clearer understanding of in terms of what's going on, because what often happens is this idea of the 2 powers gets marshaled by Christian apologists to promote a sense, I think, an inappropriate sense of claims of divinity that Jesus may or may not have foisted upon himself. So
well, I look forward to that.
Yeah. But yeah, I will. I think I haven't set it up yet, but keep your eyes open. I will probably be doing something live midweek, and then Josh and I have a Hebrew reading stream on
That's right.
the evening. We're reading through one of the Psalms. I think it's Psalm 104. So yeah, look for that. It's fun.
Excellent.
So
Sweet, guys.
Cool.
I'm glad for everyone
right.
who stuck on for a long time.
yeah, right. It's been ages.
We peaked at
And
some 80 some, right? Maybe more. But yeah, it's
we
great that
actually
this-
we peaked
yeah.
at over 90, dude. We got close to
Woo.
100 tonight, so that was pretty good.
You guys are great.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just very grateful for people who watch and comment and spend time on this and
It's
enjoy this
Is that a
content, so-
heart? It's supposed to be a heart.
I gave up on doing
that. We don't know what.
But no, we really appreciate the love, and I just want to say a big thank you to all the people who hung
Yes,
out and hung in
absolutely.
there with us being very goofy.
It's extremely so. I have finished my glass of Crown Royal.
And I have
so
finished my mystery drink.
your mystery tea.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Well, on that note, I will say good night. I will
Mhm.
say have an excellent rest of the weekend to everyone who's tuned in. And as always, Hatikva.